Alright, Shalom. Before I begin, I just want to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Dash. Double honor to the head apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, along with the sincere brethren that is also laboring in his work. To you I say Shalom. Yeah, man, so beautiful times we living in. We got this corona kicking off, and this is what we expect and what we've been looking for, us men that's in the truth and the believers out there. Because in order for the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives, in which the Most High is about to establish on earth, before that happens, it has to be chaos, It has to be destruction before peace comes. And we've been waiting on this day, and things are starting to pop off. And us having the comfort of the scriptures, we understand that these things must take place. Meanwhile, everyone else outside this wise counsel is freaking out. And they have no freaking idea, what's coming. This shit is about to get 100,000 times worse than what it is now. But anyway, I got this quick article from the New York Post, which goes into this woman who recovered from the coronavirus test, and she tested positive for it again in Japan. All right, and that's gonna bring even more fear on these people, because you can recover from this disease, and at the same time, catch it again, and that's gonna play on these people's mind. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna read this real quick and get some scriptures. It says, a tour guide in Japan. Move this up. A tour guide in Japan was recently released from a hospital after recovering from the coronavirus. It has tested positive again after reports. The Osaka woman in her 40s was working on a bus with tourists from the Chinese epicenter city of Wuhan when she was confirmed to be infected with the illness on January 29th, according to the agents France Presse. The bus driver also was diagnosed with the deadly disease. The woman was discharged from the hospital on February 1st and tested negative for the virus 5 days later. She tested negative 5 days later, though she still had a cough that went away a week later. All right. But on February 21st, she returned to the doctor because of a sore throat and chest pain and tested positive again on Wednesday, according to AFP. An official in Osaka said the case is the first of a person tested positive for COVID-19 in Japan after apparently being cleared of it. Cases of the second positive test have already been reported in China, according to Reuters. And so, man, look. Let me read this real quick. Also, 2,800 people have died in the illness. Now, we know it's way more than what they reported, which has affected about 80,000. It's more than that worldwide. Once you have the infection, it could remain dormant with a minimal symptoms, and then you can get an exacerbation if it finds its way into the lungs. Professor Philip Ciorno of the New York University School of Medicine told Reuters. All right. So the point is, man, you got these people on these ships that have been in quarantine and they can't get out the ship. Don't nobody want them to come, on land. They don't want them to come into their cities. They're supposed to come to Anderson, Alabama, but they turn that around quick because hey, that shit get loose, it's a wrap. They're gonna shut the whole city down, maybe the whole state. So yeah, man, these people that had this coronavirus, hey, even when you so-called healed, healed from that shit, those symptoms can come back. You can test positive or negative and be so-called healed and still have it. And that's even more fear that's being struck into these people. So what they gonna do with you people, man? The ones that got it, And this is a plague from the Most High, This ain't. It's man-made by the so-called white man, but at the same time, it's the Most High that's sending these plagues. He's using the so-called white man to wreak havoc on the earth because their rulership is coming to an end. So they're going to kill as many as they can and try to get as many as they can to take an RFID microchip. At the end of the day, they're going to come behind it with a vaccine as a solution. This is their motto: order out of chaos. They create chaos and they bring in order. 2 Corinthians 15, and I started verse 5. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So the Most High is the one that's bringing these plagues, and he's using the so-called white man, who is a devil that the Bible speaks of, to do it, because he's considered the sword of the Most High, not his weapon. All right, the second Edges 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there should be sedition among men, invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Ain't you saying that right now? In Wuhan, all over China, Italy, and also Iran, man. And this plague has reached pretty much all continents. This is going to be an extreme epidemic, and they're going to shut all this shit down and enforce martial law to where you can't even get out your house, like they're doing over there in China and Italy. Verse 18 says, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread for a great tribulation. The Most High is finna cut off food supply, he finna cut off water, he finna cut off the lights, he finna cut off every living source that you depend on in this world that brings you comfort. The Lord about to turn all that off. And what you gonna do then, man? You're gonna be stuck out here unless you got, the Spirit of the Lord who was gonna protect you in that day. Alright? And so as you can see, man, people are already emptying out these stores. They fighting over food, and it's only gonna intense, and this is gonna be worldwide. You already got uproars of the people. You got shit, man. Locusts, you got swarms of locusts eating up crops, preparing a famine, and these are plagues from the Most High. But if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American who are qualified to receive salvation from the vengeance of the Most High, because this is his time of vengeance on the whole world for their wickedness. All right. But if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native from the tribe of Israel, all right, his chosen people, then you will qualify for the salvation as long as you hearken to this word. Psalms 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. All right, so what is the secret place? The secret place is dealing with this knowledge and wisdom, because the men that are in the truth, the men and women that have received this truth, understand that these things must come, because it's all is compared to, this tribulation is compared to a woman in birth pains, all right, a woman in labor, all right. And so all of this has to take place in order for our kingdom, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives, our kingdom to be established on earth, because this world was given to the so-called white man, but his time of rulership is coming to an end, and it's going to go out with a bang, So you had to come into this knowledge and wisdom to receive salvation from all this tribulation that's coming on earth. Verse 2, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, which is dealing with the so-called white man Esau that released his biological weapon on all of the world, and for the noise and pestilence. The noise and pestilence is those nuclear missiles that the Most High is going to use these other countries to destroy America with. All right, he's going to deliver us from that. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. From what? From this outside storm, and from these fiery darts of the wicked. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that fly by day. And this is talking about ultimately these nuclear missiles. It's gonna get so bad, and these people are gonna start shooting missiles, and America is gonna be eventually destroyed. Like I said, verse 6, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. All right. So the Most High is going to protect you from pestilence and all that, if you turn back and hearken unto the Lord, and receive this knowledge. And again, the Lord's name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names of the Most High and his beloved son. You're going to want to seek him out before this stuff get really bad. It's probably too late, you know. It means to repent from your idols, you know, Jesus Christ. Repent from worshiping these holidays, you know. Repent from worshiping these idols, including yourself, right? These celebrities, anything that takes you away from the knowledge of the Most High. And the Most High requires you to repent from all of that. If not, you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be caught up in this shit, and you're going to be destroyed. And the Lord says it's going to be great death, man. It's going to be great death. It's like it. Hold on. Let me grab some real quick. I'm going to close it out. Second Ezra 16 and 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do in these days when these evils shall come? Behold, famine, plague, tribulation, and angels are sent as scourges for amendment, all right, for correction. For all these things that shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, right? Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, they should think themselves to be in good case. That's what you people in America think. You know, you think you're going to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. But the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. See, man, all this shit's finna come to the earth, and it's the Most High bringing it. And if you're not in the secret place of the Most High, man, you're gonna be caught up in it. So I hope that was edifying. Till next time, I'm gonna say shalom.